By the way, friends, this is Gladys from Gladys Garden in Heart of a Gypsy. Thanks all of you for stopping by. I have a quick tutorial that I'd like to share with you guys, and this has to do with a swap that we have going on my Facebook group, which is called Heart of a Gypsy Soul Designs. And we are having a swap coming up in January for an altar bottle turned into a sewing kit. And I've had several questions of, different people have asked different questions, even though I do have a picture of it online. On YouTube, I made a little video with pictures when I made a bunch of pin cushions and stick pins, and the sample was there, but I can see how other people will have other questions about it. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions during this little quick tutorial, and we'll go over the material that you're going to need to do so. First of all, you're going to need a jar that is at least 32 ounces and above, and can be any recycled jar, really. This was a pickle squash jar that I've had, and I really like the size. It was kind of fat and short, and plenty fits into it without being too bulky, so that's the reason why I chose this. But it can be anything. Let me show you another jar. This is another jar that I have, and I believe this was instant coffee, Nescafe, I believe it was. And let me show you the one that I have already made. 2 seconds and I'll bring it over. So this is the same thing, but I painted the lid in pink, and I just used spray paint that you could just buy at Walmart or anything. Just if you're going to spray paint, make sure you do it outside, because it's quite toxic, so if you ingest it. So anyway, so that's the same bottle. So either bottle would work, as long as they have, yeah, see, it's Nescafe, it says right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. There it is. As long as it has a wide mouth, it'll be okay. So you can bring, things in and out of it. So anything will do. If it's smaller than that, it's probably not the greatest thing, just because it would be difficult. But if somebody in your group or whoever you are swapping with like to have a little bitty thing because space is limited in their place, well, then that's okay too. But for the swap, I ask you guys that you do it at 32 ounces and above. Unless your partner wants something smaller precisely, then you're okay to go. So I'm going to go ahead and embellish this in front of you so you can see how easy really it is. So aside from washing the bottle, making sure that the label that came in was really washed off, that's all I did, and then painted the lid in pink, because we are doing the pink and mauve colors, the shabby chic colors. Alright, so that's what I did. The next thing I'm going to do, I have several images here, and I'll show them to you, that I have already, printed out. I already cut them out. I'll show you all these images, so you can feel free as to what you have in your collection of pictures. So I cut this little, I think it's a wooden spool design paper, and so it folds this way. That's where they used to have needles before, so I just printed it out like that, and then I put the pins in there. I do like these pins right here that have this yellow. You can get those at Walmart too, because they're just easy to grab, so I'm going to put those in there. So that's part of what you need. You need some, I don't have a requirement as to how many, just put some pins, head pins in there. Then you have to have some safety pins. I like the pink ones. Walmart also carries those ones. I put some gold ones there in different sizes. Then on this ones I put 3 little, they're paper clips, but they're in the shape of a little hanger. Now these are not the requirement. I'm just showing you what you can do. But these are the requirement. So safety pins, head pins, you have some needles that you need to have in there, and these 1 to 2 needles, working needles, and this is a threader. You need to have 2 spools of regular size spools of thread, either white or beige or in pink or mauve color. Then you need to have a little baggie of buttons, and then I found that one in vintage buttons, and I just couldn't help myself to put them in there. Can you believe we're calling this vintage? Well, but it's Walmart, and it is vintage, so it's over 30 years old, so I can't believe that. And then we have the requirement of a tape. I bought this at Walmart, and it is the pink one, so I couldn't resist myself since we are working with everything pink. So there's that. I guess I didn't show you the buttons. A little mini scissors, and you can find them anywhere, really. It doesn't, there's no, I believe Walmart has the pink ones too. I gotta check on that one. But those are the requirements on the little stuff. Now, as for the bigger items that need to go into the basket, you are required to add 3 types of lace, okay? One of them has to be Venice lace, which is this very pretty type right here that you see, and you'll see it almost looks like embroidery. That would be Venice lace, okay? So only one of those can be lace, and the other 2 can be regular lace. This is what I picked up just to give you examples. This will be a regular size one, and it has to be, they have to be at least 1 inch and above, not smaller than that. But you can put other things, you know, whatever you can fit in there. These are just samples that I brought so you can see. I also had this little cards that I bought in a thrift store. These are how they used to sell them, yarn, which is pure wool, and I'm going to put 2 in there in that little box. Again, that's not a requirement, but what I'm telling you the requirement is, it's the lace, and I'll read them from you for you here. So, which is in my group also, you can find that there, but you need to have a 32 ounce size jar minimum. You need to have 2 regular spools of thread. You need to have 3 types of laces. One of them has to be Venice lace, and the other one 2 regular, 1 inch and above in width. And also they have to be in the creams, pink, mauve colors, or the shabby chic. You have some safety pins. You need to have standard measuring tape. You need to have working scissors. It's a little small bag of vintage, or not vintage, but as long as they're ivory, whitish, and I'll show you what this one's. So I kind of choose a lot of them that look very vintagey, but they look, and they are vintage, but they are very in the white, creams, ivories, and pinks. So I put those in there. And then on the outside, you need to have made a pin cushion, which is this one that I created already. And you need to have 10 stick pins on it that you're going to put in. This, we're going to glue it to the lid like this, okay? And as to how you decorate the box, or I'm sorry, not the box, the jar, we're going to go through that right now. But those are the requirements. Everything else that was not in the list and that I show you, those are just extra things that that you can do. And what I'm going to do is show you. I cut this little papers, and what I did, I put some glue in here. This is just with my ATG gun. And then I'm going to put it, let's see, what's the, right here. This one is going to go on the back, but on the inside, because I want to be able to clean the jar. Okay, right there. I'm going to put my hand in there. So there it is. It's on the inside, so I can always clean the jar. And I'm going to do the same thing for this. So usually we would put the glue on the wrong side. Remember, since we're putting them inside, we are putting the tape or your ATG glue on the front part. Alright, so it looks like this, and it's full of fuzzies because, you know, I just ran the thing through it. So we're going to put those in this way. So make sure you clean all that glue, put it right into the paper, because if you don't, it'll grab your laces, it'll grab your thread, everything else, and things may not come out of the jar easy. Alright, so oops. This one, I think I'm going to put it on the side here. And remember, this one is, my hand is too big for it, but let me see. I'm gonna do my best in here. There it is. So there's that one right there. And I think that's all I'm going to put on the inside for right now. Then I have this other little square that I cut out, and it's not big. So I'm going to dare to put it in the front, even though I don't want to put a lot of things on the outside, because I don't want to obscure the view into the items that are going to go into the jar. So I'm going to go into the jar. So I'm going to try to center it here. Alright. So here it is. That's what it's going to do. Alright, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and start putting all my laces and my items that I have in here for whoever's going to get this. And I rolled this ones into, you know, the wooden clothespins. That's where I put them in. And like I said, only one has to be Venice. The other ones don't really matter. And then I'm going to put this one right there. Let's see, my little baggie of vintage buttons, my little scissors, and I'm going to put my little paper that has Paris word, and then also kind of a couture look with a dress form. That's going to go inside, and those are my little hangers, which is like a paper clip and it's not fitting, so I am going to move this so I can put it in. There we go. There it is. Then I'm going to put my little pins in there, head pins, the threader, and just put it anywhere, you know, just as long as it looks kind of cute. I'll put some buttons in there, you can see them there. Then this little one here. Do your best just to put them in there. My tape, working tape. Oh, and then the thimble, I totally forgot to tell you, there's a little thimble in there. And this one is actually a vintage, and it was pink. And then I dyed it just a tiny bit more pink with the alcohol inks. And that is it that I'm going to put. This one's going to fit or not. I'm going to see how I can put them in there. But those are the things that you're going to put in there. Then I also have made a charm. This charm was part of a swap that I had before. I just added more charms that had to do with the sewing theme. And I put this pleated ribbon through it. And then I'm going to tie it. So it is on a bow. Well, that was not the best bow in there, but anyways, you get the idea. Like that. And then I kind of made 3 of my other wooden clothespins, and I stamped on them the word postcard. So I'm going to see how I can put them in there. And they fitted perfectly fine. So now we close the jar. I gotta redo this bow. This bow is kind of having mental issues here. There, much better. Okay, so I am going to grab my glue gun that I've already have heated up, and go ahead and add. And I'm gonna remove all this stick pins so you can see how we just put it in there. And I'm just going to be generous with the glue gun in here. Okay. And quickly I'm going to put it right there, right over the lid. So it looks like that. And if you have to fix certain areas, so you would see them when you turn it to the side, like in there, I'm going to fix it a little bit better because it was just coming apart. So I'm going to glue that area. I'm going to give it a little help here too, pushing it down. Another one here. And it just keeps it all nicely together. All right. There it is, my friends. And now I have my stick pins that I had already created. Oops. And I don't even know if I have, I know I have more than 10 in here, I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be at least 10 of them that you're going to send to your partners. So there it is. And there is, I am going to put this little tag in there, and it's a dress form, and it says Paris. So that's how I'm going to send it whoever, you know, I am partnered with. Oops, my little... Okay, so I gotta put this back. It just kind of fell in there. But anyways, you get the point as to what we need to do. It's quite simple, so I hope you have enjoyed this little mini tutorial, and I guess we'll talk to you later. So take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.